Today, I want to talk about why, as a filmmaker, you should seriously consider owning a camera that has nothing to do with your job. The Fujifilm X100V has become that for me, and I'll explain why it's not just my personal camera, but in a way my creative pressure valve. And maybe more importantly, why having a camera you don't need to be quite so precious about can be the most creatively freeing thing in your kit. As a working video maker, most of our gear gets pulled into the grind of production. It's all cables, cages, accessories, firmware updates, mounting points, balancing weights sometimes. The Fujifilm X100V is the exact opposite of that. It's simple, it's light, there's no rigging, and it doesn't remind me of work. And that's the key. Having a camera that doesn't feel like work means you're more likely to bring it along. That's certainly true for me. And I'm much more likely to shoot something with it, and I'm more likely to enjoy the act of capturing a moment without overthinking it. It's a camera that definitely invites use rather than demands setup. Now sure, I could bring the FX6 or even the A7S III. The former shoots amazing video and the latter also shoots amazing stills. But the second I do that, I'm back in work mode. I'm thinking about picture profiles, exposure zebras, whether I've got a HDMI cable or SDI cable with me. When I'm going to back up the media with those cameras, every moment has the potential to become a deliverable, which sounds great until that starts getting in the way of just enjoying the moment. This point and shoot, or any point and shoot, removes all that. It brings you back to instinctive image making. I see something, I compose the frame, click, done. It massively helps that the X100V is literally pocketable, with the right jacket anyway. It's small enough that I grab it without thinking, which becomes habit. And because it looks just enough like a film camera, it tends to attract a little bit less attention, which is great when traveling. People glance at it and think, oh, cool, but not in the same way they'd react to a DSLR or, worse, the Red Rig. It allows you to slightly fly under the radar when capturing images, which can be really useful. You can get more natural moments, and less self-consciousness, less intrusion. It's also, even my slightly beaten one included, a thing of beauty, which, to me, kind of matters. I think that most cameras are a thing of beauty, but that's probably not normal, but this almost universally is regarded as such. And the reason that's important is because if you like the way your camera looks, you're much more likely to keep it with you and actually use it. And here's the kicker. This thing is bad at video. And that's what I like about it, because it makes that separation between this and my work tools even clearer. I'm never tempted to use it as a B-roll cam. I'm never worrying about shutter angles. I don't ever even try and record any clips on it. It's a stills camera. That's all, and it keeps me creatively honest. For someone who lives in Final Cut and who's constantly fine-tuning audio, stabilizing clips, worrying about frame rates, it's freeing to use a tool that doesn't require any of that. And sometimes I find as a video maker, the constraints of working in the adjacent medium of stills can really unlock some creativity. And the stills this thing produces are just lovely. They have so much character. There's something about Fuji's color science and glass that's really hard to get anywhere else. Straight out of camera, the JPEGs are warm, sharp, and very filmic. One of the other things I love about this camera is it's got physical controls, actual input dials, and that slows you down a little bit, but in a good way. It's not like a high frame rate DSLR where you can just fire off bursts. Everything you do with this camera is framed with intentionality. And the best part is, because it's not my work camera, I don't feel any pressure to perform with it. The only judge really is myself. If I mess up an exposure, doesn't matter. If I miss a moment, that's fine. This isn't a client job, this is work for me. And that mindset shift from delivery to discovery is completely freeing. It's massive. It lets you try out things, frame stuff weirdly, get really close or go really wide. Shoot from the hip sometimes, just flick the screen out. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but every time you see more. With this, it's taught me to really notice light again. I think about texture, shape, distance. It's so constrained, and that's what's great about it. This is such a great tool for honing the fundamentals of image capture, which inevitably benefits my professional work, even though I keep it separate from that. And so in that respect, in a lot of ways, the X100V is so much more than just a fun camera. It's part of my creative maintenance. It's what keeps me from burning out sometimes. And it reminds me that photography can be a pleasure, not just a deliverable. I'll bring it on a walk, or a weekend away, or even just out to lunch. Not to document the day, but to enjoy looking around with a photographer's eye again, which is where I started. It's just a little soft reset button, and I think everybody would benefit from having this or something similar. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be the X100V. This just happens to be the camera I clicked with. There are some other really great options. The Ryko GR, the older, X100 lines, the Leica Q if you're feeling really fancy. But the important bit is this: find a camera you don't need to be too precious about, that doesn't double as a work tool, that doesn't need to be rigged or kitted out or prepped, something that really feels like it's yours. And here's an odd little side note: even though I deliberately keep this camera out of my work kit, because of how it looks, it does sometimes find its way into projects. It's got a classic filmic design, so now and then I'll use it as a prop in lifestyle shoots or commercials. Sometimes if you need someone to look like a photographer or just capture a casual moment on screen, the X100V looks the part perfectly. So it's found this strange middle ground. It's definitely not a work tool, but it's photogenic enough that it can earn its place on set now and then, and I quite like that. Also worth mentioning, this is actually my second X100V. I bought one brand new when they first came out, and I ended up selling it because I wasn't using it very much. Then, just before the TikTok-fueled scarcity kicked in, I bought another one, this one, second hand. And before this, I'd owned the X100F, and before that, the X100T. So the V for me was a bit of a knee-jerk upgrade at the time, just keeping the cycle going. Now I'm thinking maybe about upgrading again, either to the new X100VI or to the XE5. The E5 looks interesting, but lacks the weather sealing that I really like about the X100 series. And honestly, part of me is hesitant, because having a camera that isn't precious is kind of the whole point. If the next one is too shiny and new, I might start babysitting it, and that kind of defeats the purpose, for me at least. I want something that I can toss into a tote bag or carry under a jacket without worrying about it. A camera that feels lived in, like a notebook you scribble in, not a display piece. So, if you're a filmmaker or even a content creator, and you found yourself falling out of love with the process a bit, consider getting a stills camera that isn't part of your kit list. It might not make you money, it definitely won't shoot ProRes, you'll never, hopefully, use it on a client job, but it will help you enjoy photography again, and that bleeds into everything else. If you've got a go-to camera like this, let me know in the comments, or if you're thinking of picking one up, I'd be happy to answer any questions. I'd be particularly interested to know if anyone's got the X100V and they've upgraded, and if so, which route they took. If you found this video useful, or if you just like hearing gear talk that's not about the latest spec sheet, consider subscribing. I've got more videos coming soon, all of them rooted in real-world use. Thank you for watching, see you next time.